Wait for it. Oh, they waited long enough. It's been a whole dang week, Bob. Can you believe it? It's Saturday. It's 7-ish p.m. yet again. So we've got another live episode of Cardboard Conversations.
Indeed.
What up, guys? How we doing?
Post-Christmas, it's going way too fast.
And it looks like you still got the cheer.
I do. This is the 2025, one of them. It's one of the two promo cards that they put out. They put out a foreign language one as well, but I didn't want to show that. So, and it's kind of like
language that is not English
anime.
is foreign to me.
But
well, happy post-Christmas, happy early New Year's Eve. Same to you, Matt. I know I won't see you again until 2026, so sad as it is.
Well, I hope everybody had a good one. I had a good one. How about you guys?
Yeah, I had a good Christmas as well. It was nice.
Yeah, not too shabby. Honestly, I spent a lot of my Christmas in like preparation. I got notice 3:30, maybe 3:45 in the afternoon Wednesday, that I can pick up my car down in New Jersey on Friday or Saturday. So I had to scramble and scrape together plans right quick, get tickets, Uber, all that jazz set up. Yeah, it was one of the most like self-indulgent Christmases I've had in quite a long while. Yeah, loved it though.
Nice.
Yeah. No, we had a very typical, which is actually good in my household, Christmas. I had a Christmas dinner. I got a couple T-shirts, got a couple of boxes from Sherry Vegas.
Nice.
I got a Funko Pop Bilbo from my daughter. I got the OG red box Dungeons and Dragons starter box. I can share some images. I got them.
Snap.
Got some
now a big question for you though, Bob. For holiday dinner, did you do a ham, a turkey, a goose? How'd you roll?
Ham. Well, I'm trying to go easy, quick, less fuss as I get older. So I bought a sliced, boneless, spiral cut ham. So I didn't even have to worry about slicing it. It was already pre-sliced. It was good. It was tasty. And then we, made potatoes and green beans casserole and some rolls and carrots. So it was good. How about you guys?
Chinese food, as always. I'm a bachelor and I don't celebrate Christmas, so I just take it as a paid holiday and I go down and I hit up number one kitchen. I get far too much, #my belly, and I pretty much indulge. It was great. I loved it.
I made some mac and cheese. That's what I'm munching on right now.
Snap, love it.
Homemade mac and cheese.
Okay.
And then we had turkey. We had a lot of dishes this year because what we've been doing is each person kind of just makes their own dish and then just potluck smash together a turkey, a Christmas dinner. There was scalloped potatoes. There was a butternut squash. My stepmom, she does this gardening in her backyard, and so she has like butternut squash, zucchini, all that kind of stuff. So she's been trying to find uses for her butternut squash. So she made a dish there. My sister made candied yams. My other sister made cornbread. My mom made a bunch of desserts. Like we had plenty of food. I've got plenty of food left over. And I've been trying to perfect this mac and cheese recipe, but I don't know how the same recipe that I followed about 4 different times has come out 4 different ways, but I feel like I've done it the same way, at least the majority of it, but it has come out not great. This time I kind of just winged it and did my own, and it came out better. So, I guess we're getting some more.
I always find cooking is a bit more like art, and baking is a bit more like science. I find cooking is a bit more like ooh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, what can I say? I was trying to get into our own stream, make sure I mod it accurately and all that. Cause an echo. I'm just a troublemaker.
Well, you would think that, coaches, but some people make a roux, and that alone makes the process much more difficult and annoying. The roux, I don't necessarily know the reason for a roux. It's basically just butter, flour, and then you add the cheese with the milk. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like a more of a sauce, but every time I've made it, maybe I make the roux wrong. I think a roux are probably one of the more difficult things to do because it's very temperamental. But it's never been more sausage. It's always been like kind of almost what's the consistency like?
Thin mashed potatoes, like a porridge or something.
It's almost dough-like.
Oh,
once you add the
snap!
cheese and
Real
it's really
thick.
strange. And I
Oh,
don't like it.
you're baking a loaf. How do you not like cheese? Time capsule. We've been friends for so long, and it's weird. This is the divide.
Yeah, this has a lot of cheese in it.
I want mostly cheese. Like I want
Yeah.
cheese and macaroni, not because it's alphabetical, but because of like the amount of ingredient.
Yeah, I like. I have psoriasis, and one of my doctors, or I should say, my only doctor, my dermatologist, she was like, "Do you eat a lot of cheese?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Oh, that's really bad for your skin, for your psoriasis. It could be an inflammatory." And I'm like, "Well, I guess I'm eating. It doesn't matter. I'm eating cheese. I'm sorry, I can't."
Yeah,
It is so good.
cheese and eggs, yuck, bro. Time capsule. Come on, I. Whoa, 5 gifted memberships. Hey, thank you very much, you guys. Well, that means we're going to get some people in our extra content. Yes, that's right. Not only do we have this show right here, runs for a full hour until 8 p.m. Eastern, we have an additional minimum half hour every single week following this up for our members. So if you want to go ahead, hit that up. 99 cents gets you in at the starter level. We've got other stuff. Matt hooked you guys up with some really interesting incentives. So please look into that if you are interested.
We are the incentive. We are extra content every single week for at least half an hour, usually an hour.
Sometimes far longer.
We tend to take the filter off a bit more. You'll get some additional content that we typically don't do here, like actual games, box breaks, because we're not about opening product and giving away product. That's just not our shtick. We talk about all kinds of games. I would like to play more games actually, but we'll have a more intimate one-on-one with you guys, giggity. But we see time capsule there every week.
I mean, you know, we all got to have dreams.
Yeah. So come check out the member after party every single week.
Yeah, a few weeks ago we experimented with some Commander Raids rules, which was pretty fun. We probably plan to do that a little bit more later on as well.
But not today. Today, we want to, being that this is the last stream of the year for us, we wanted to cover the year in review from our perspective. A lot of this is going to be our opinions. Some of it will be empirical numbers. I know Matt's done some looking into it. I did a little bit of homework today and looked at each. I was a little surprised by the year in review from an annual sense for the play boosters and the collector boosters. Not surprised by some of it. Some of it I was surprised by. And I want to go chronologically. I know Matt really didn't want to talk about Innistrad because it's really who gives a fuck set. I mean, let's just be honest. I don't think
it's not a standard release either. So
but that's another change, right? That they got away from anything other than standard, really.
Yeah, was that the only remastered of the year?
It's the only non-standard set release of the year.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When I was looking through it, I'm like, oh, it's the only one of the year, which I'm not used to, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and we've been seeing a lot of it throughout the last 2, 3, 4 years. The huge inclusion of master sets, remastered sets. And I think that throughout 2025, we'll have to talk about it in our reflection here. But I think that's a huge factor that's certainly swung in a different direction.
Well, and then you had I don't know how many sets have gone straight to modern. I know we had Modern Horizons. So does that mean the end of the line for Modern Horizon sets? Only 3 is all we get. Commander Masters was a straight to Commander set, or I guess you could call it Eternal formats. But I don't know that we have anything on the horizon. I don't think that they've announced anything other than standard sets for next year. But That's not the necessary point that we're trying to get at. We wanted to take a look at, well, how did they do? And, I guess we could start, Matt. I don't know if you're going to be sharing some graphics, some visuals with some folks here. Where are we starting? What are we looking at?
This is Innistrad Remastered, like you said.
Okay.
So this set was released on January 24th. It was the actual release date. And I was hoping to get the full year. This would be almost a full year of data, but I don't know what's TCG's doing.
I did get it. I don't know if that's you or what's going on there. I looked at it before, and I was looking at two of the numbers I cared about was the price, and that's relative to the release price, really. The price at release versus its current price now. And what the sell-through rate is on an average boxes daily sold, right?
So yeah, on release, it looked like it was 171, and current market price is 176. So not a lot changed.
not
there was a big dip. I mean, I guess its recovery is not terrible. At least, I mean, it dipped all the way down
better
to 121
than
and
not. But let's be real. If you look at that dip, that was when the stock market was crashing, the Trump tariffs hit, all that kind of stuff. Lots of panic. I think a lot of that had to do with the nosedive right at release. But I think the more interesting thing is when you watch other content creators besides us, and we certainly didn't. I don't think we did much at all with Innistrad Remastered. We didn't have a.
I couldn't even tell you a single card. I couldn't even tell you a single card that's in it.
Edgar Markov.
Yeah, and I only know that because I was recently watching the Nitpicking Nerds, no longer with Joe Cherries, and they mentioned that was the one card they could mention from it. It was like, yeah, it was a super forgettable set. As someone who never cared. Oh, Meat Hook Massacre. There you go.
Yeah,
DJ finally stopped chasing the Meat Hook because it was reprinted a year ago. Yeah. That's what put a
I
stop
remember,
to that.
Averson and Emrakul. I remember these cards, but it's just not. And now after I didn't remember.
Crater Hoof Behemoth is in there, and actually the version I want.
Yeah, it's like someone reminding you of a train ride you went on when you were in like 6th grade for a field trip. This is very forgettable.
And I think that has to be
cards.
I think that has to but you're only going to get these in the collector boxes, right? Or at least the version that you want.
I'll say, well, I mean, I don't mind. Like this Hullbreaker Horde looks pretty cool. I have to imagine it's in the normal set.
But
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I have a Hullbreaker Horror, and I don't know that I want to chase that at all.
303? I don't know.
Edgar at least got into the realm of possibility, but I just
as always, I think it's just a lighthearted, not lighthearted. I think it's a poor way for them to take away the value of their older products, aka the sealed decks that they sold with Edgar in it for the only printing previously. And then, hey, this is the only really cool thing in this set, besides a couple of Eldrazi that nobody really cares about. Because isn't this Emrakul the banned one? Like, didn't they print a banned card in this set?
No, this isn't banned.
That's not the ridiculous one that no one wants to be part of.
Well, the one that's banned is 15. He's a 15/15 for 15.
Okay.
Well, but even I mean, it depends on which format you're talking about. I know the
and Snappy's in here. Snapcaster's in this, which used to be a big thing, but honestly, what is Snapcaster now?
Still is a big thing. $7. Let's be real. Like green commander, 15. Crater Hoof definitely is a big commander staple. Like it just is. It's a win con for green in so many decks. It's not even funny.
So I got to give a shout out to Mox Chest, their comment here. Have you ever seen the card Joven? Looks just like Chumlee. I assume you're referencing Chumlee from Pawn Stars. And on that same note, Chumlee from Pawn Stars has a huge Pokemon channel. I did not realize that that's where he's gotten continued fame through.
Well, and he did a lot of the bringing Magic to the forefront on the Pawn Stars show. He was there
far more likable than all the other Sharks. He was just the stone dude that loves swords, animes, and Pokemons.
I think a lot of that was persona on TV. But still, it's it's good that he brought nerddom.
Not great that he got caught with those, felonious drugs, the prostitute. I think there was a sword and some guns or whatever. But hey,
a lot of
it
people
seems like that's the kind of guys I mess around with. Speaking of people we mess around with,
thank you, Coach.
Edgar Markov must have just absolutely tanked.
I need to start watching the YouTubes a little more. Coach has been sending us some jewels. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Love the jewels. Love your jewels, Coach.
Yeah, run the jewels.
At any rate, so Innistrad, I think we can all agree was the most forgettable set of the year.
Oh yeah, this was the promise that we all make around January 1st, and we're like, we're gonna change things for the new year, and then immediately forget about it by the 20th. That was Innistrad Remastered.
One of the things
right into the next set, right?
One of the things, funny enough, I remember about Innistrad Remastered was how hard Rudy was pushing the, there's going to be such a limited short run print of the collector boxes. Like, he was pushing that button pretty hard around this time last year.
He's changed his tune a lot throughout 2025. Yeah. And we'll touch on that even further repeatedly as we go through, is that the number 1 and number 2 content creators from Magic the Gathering, their opinions at January versus December of this past year are just starkly and drastically different.
Yeah, but you were speaking of the next set. Matt, did you have any final thoughts on Innistrad besides can't remember the cards that are in it?
I'm a little surprised that 5,000 have sold. Besides that,
okay.
How have they done recently? 259 in 3 months. That's the numbers that. So the majority looked. The majority looked to be. Okay. So 2,000.
Yeah, but look at how drastically the average daily sold is dropped in the last 3 months.
Yeah, 13 versus.
If I could have bought that for 125, I probably would have gotten into it at 125. Like even there at $140. Like what is that? 147 probably all the way on the left hand side. 149, $150, let's call it 170 shipped. That's not that bad in retrospect, because we saw that huge downgrade. As always, we're just seeing up.
I'll be honest with you.
If I would want to be.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere in any of it. If I want any of the cards in a remastered set, I'll just buy the damn cards.
Yeah, no, though.
This is not going to be one of the ones, if you guys come over, that we're going to be saying, hey, let's crack a box of Innistrad Remastered and draft that shit for,
I don't know. It's got a lot of good cards in it. It was just poorly received.
I like this artwork better than
maybe 2 of those cards in a box.
Yeah. Well, think of Commander Master and how terrible that portrait artwork was, where it's just like the left side of some person's face, creature's face for that fact. At least these ones, like, this looks good. It's a pretty looking set. That's the most laurels I'll award it.
Yeah, if I'm going to spend $175 on Innistrad Remastered, I'm buying singles.
And I think
I'd rather have 2 Aether Drift boxes.
God, and I think that it's a really interesting through line with, in our last set that we were discussing there, Innistrad Remastered, how some of the borderless artwork, some of their special cards look pretty darn good. And then we go into Aether Drift, where it has hashtag.
Right, I'm going to tell you, let's cap our recaps to about 5 minutes per set so we can get through all of them. And all I'm going to say about Aether Drift is piss cards,
piss lands. Yeah.
Yeah, looking at Aether Drift, we've got
it's $90 for a play booster box. That if you can get Rudy numbers off of TCG Player, it's speaking for itself. And it's not a good thing it's saying.
See, these cards look good to me. I like the Radiant Lotus.
That's too busy for me.
Wrappings, but these are all from collector boxes, obviously.
You like those piss cards? Ooh.
Well, this isn't quite the piss card. It is. I mean, it is the majority, but the ones that are like really bad are these. The ones that have like nothing in the background. I don't understand why they thought this was good.
I don't think they thought it was good. I think it's just that they were like, hey, what's the lowest bar we can set for ourselves and still make money? This was the big miss. I think
I don't mind this because it has like something in it, but like there's some that are just like this Catcher Mouse. Like I love Catcher Mouse. He's cool, but this is awful. Like
looks like I was just
it's
at a
supposed to be
racetrack.
gold, but it's yellow. So the color's just wrong. I don't know why they picked the yellow. But these are supposed to be, what are they called? The golden. I don't know if they're
First place
listed here. First place foil, golden versions or whatever. They're just bad.
Yeah, huge miss. And I think that honestly, we saw a lot of that in 2025 with all the crossover sets with so little effort given into them. This being a supposedly original Magic the Gathering set. Let's be honest, this is a hat set. This is Magic the Gathering
on February 14th.
And there's no rebound.
February 14th, and they were 100 then, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that thing came out face planted and just kind of went down from there.
Yeah, at least if you look at the 6 month on Innistrad Remastered, it looks good. This is just gross all the way through. You'd have to go for like the last 1 month.
Sold. That's really bad. I mean, I guess 3,000 there, a little bit before release.
Well, it looks like there's 70 listings of people trying to get out of heavy bags.
So what's the current last 3 months sell-through rate?
4 per day.
4 boxes a day. That's something. And it's probably only because they're super cheap. But let me ask you guys, if you guys come over to play, and are we going to be asking to pull Aether Drift off the shelf to draft some Commander raids? I don't think so.
That's not the vibe.
It would not be my first choice.
It doesn't entice me to have it sitting on my shelf. That something I might even. I don't think I have a box. I really don't. I don't think I bought any.
I got Finish Line bundles somewhere.
I don't think I had any.
I'm glad that we had not started doing the Commander Raids box breaks with Aether Drift.
Amen. And so I would say that if we were looking at Magic and just stopped at this point of the year, this was their release schedule for the year, this just would be a pretty bad year for Magic.
Well, and to that note, I guess it's good that Magic does more than 2 sets per year. Take that, Sorcery.
I mean, Loot is really good. So there are definitely good cards from it. Loot is really good.
Sure, Aether Spark's not bad. The Monument to Endurance isn't bad.
Really good.
Sure, there are some good cards in there, but I think the art is just it was a hard swing and a big miss to me with the art direction.
Yeah,
with the flavor, the hat set, the racing vibe. Just what the fuck, Magic?
How did they not realize, like, after seeing the Daniel Craig movie Cowboys and Aliens and it being a complete flop, that Cowboys and Magic would do well? Who made this? Like, that's what I wonder. Is like somebody got.
Well, actually, Cowboys and Magic did better than this, which was
Sexy Frog.
Thunder Junction did better.
Thunder Thighs.
I'm actually ready to move on to a much better set that came out and was super well received. It was like a surprise drop. There was almost it's very eerie vibes to almost what we're getting with Lorwyn Eclipsed, where they didn't even really have it was like, here's a set. Like we're like less than 30 days to Lorwyn Eclipsed, and we still don't have hardly any of the spoilers. So very interesting.
Yeah. So what he's talking about is Tarkir Dragonstorm. This set was released on March 11th, and this set had 8,200 boxes sold right around release,
which is
a little interesting. It looks like it's a little sleeper. Most of the other sets had like a lot of pre-sales. This one seems to have kind of been like a little bit of a slow burn because
they weren't pushing it. They were pushing Final Fantasy by this point.
So
I think everybody was surprised with it, like just the quality, authenticity, honestly, to Magic the Gathering.
So I mean, it has outsold both Innistrad and Aether Drift by double?
Combined, easily by double, yeah.
Well, thinking about it, like of the Magic the Gathering box openings because Pack Opening Addict was still making content at that time, so I watched him open a bunch of Dragonstorm before it came out. Same thing with Aether Drift and Remastered. Of those 3 sets, I only opened one, and if I had to go back, I would still choose exactly the same one. Dragonstorm was really fun. It was Magic the Gathering.
And the art was so much more appealing.
Yeah, these are really cool looking. I love these.
You know, the basic substance of it, you know, I don't know what the story was, and I really don't give a shit because the cards were better. It felt more like Magic. It looks more like Magic. It plays more like Magic. It was leaning into in-universe, even though they kind of shit on it and didn't, you know, push it prior to. I mean, there's a lot of good cards in here I'm looking at already.
Well, I think one of the biggest issues we had with the fervor for Dragonstorm is the set that we saw directly after this, because that was the largest selling set of 2025. It took so much of the hype and attention away from a really worthwhile product that we're looking at here with Tarkir Dragonstorm. It hit on so many different levels. And if it was not for Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro at large, just investing into outside IPs instead of their own originality. Don't get me wrong, Mox Jasper is a terrible card. Matt, sorry, buddy. But outside of that, this was a banger set.
The version looks sick.
Looks cool, plays
looks
bad.
Cool, and I have no use for it.
Yeah, like someone posted something earlier. They're like, would you rather include Soul Ring or any of the Mox? Well, it's Soul Ring. Soul Ring goes in every deck. Mox sometimes go in some decks. Like Mox Jasper, it's too niche. I understand.
Well, I mean, it depends on which Mox. Any of the original Moxen, I'll take those.
So shout out to Coach, the Dragon Scale foils. Okay. That was something we saw a whole lot of in the last 18 months, 2 years. And I got to say, I'm really happy that they toned it down with all of these weird foilings. Like when we saw the Unfinity ones, how they had a very special foiling there. The Fallout ones, they really went overboard with it. You could not scan cards and know if you had one version versus the next. And I would just love to never see that come back. Man, I started at the end of Revised, quit after 5th, just gave away all of my cards. Ooh, I hope you didn't give away all your cards unless it was to a real close loved one or person you care about.
Yeah, there's lots
I did
and
a
lots.
very similar thing with Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's lots and lots of stories like that.
Gave it away. Yeah.
WTF. I mean, I have similars. I didn't give it away, but you know, I sold an entire set of 40 dual lands plus cards like Scheherazade, other Arabian Nights, and Legends cards, and a bunch of revised cards. Sold my entire collection in 1997, right when I left Okinawa for $250. So imagine getting 40 dual lands for under $250 plus everything else that was in there. There, I'm sure some Sylvan libraries, just some real staple cards. At any rate, yeah, that is a very common thing that happens, and you know, it happens. And back then, nobody knew Magic was going to take off like it did. But speaking about taking off, Magic had its best set ever.
Well, hey, best selling. Whoa, simmer down with best set ever. Have you seen?
I'll agree with that. Best selling set ever. But I still think it's a fantastic set. Wow, are they already back up to 147?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Didn't they just dump a whole shitload?
It looks like there was a
147
days ago. Yeah.
So over the year, let's go. What was it at release? And what is it now?
So Final Fantasy Religion.
Yeah, this is a messed up chart.
So Final Fantasy was in May 13th. So we're looking at right around here at release. Pre-release sales were definitely higher than normal, and then you got a couple, almost 2,000 pre-release, and then on release, 8,000. Very similar numbers actually to Dragonstorm.
There's an interesting correlation here. There was a sale. So there was a TCG player 10%
but I don't think that was
off
unreleased. I
sale.
think that was here, somewhere in here numbers.
Yeah, right in that huge upswing. Along with that climb, they're again being the largest trading card selling platform. We cannot negate that effect. Same thing when we see it again for like October. There's probably going to be a bump there in some sales across our viewing here.
I want to address one of the things that WTF just mentioned. Where to begin? I'm going to tell you right now. I highly recommend watching the Commanders
Command Zone with Josh Lee Kwai and all them fellas. Rachel
Commanders
Lee.
Where you want to be.
Yeah.
I would
don't know
start
if I'd watch
there.
Command Zone. It depends on if you like cheesy videos.
They have high production quality. It's a good way to just tiptoe into it. That's where
I wouldn't watch their gameplay because honestly, they pull a whole hell of a lot of punches. But when they talk about cards, they're honestly like my third favorite Magic the Gathering channel. If you want to learn about mechanics, if you want to figure out how gameplay design is, Distraction Makers, #1 Magic the Gathering channel that I could recommend to anybody that wants to learn about game mechanics and design. Distraction Makers.
Well, the reason I say Command Zone is because if you've never heard of Commander before and you're just getting back into it, it gives you a definitely polished look at what Commander really is, and that's where probably 80% of the people are, WTF. So that's where I would start. Plus, they play almost every staple that there is in Commander.
Just know that there's going to be like half of the episode of filler of them yapping about a bunch of dumb shit that doesn't make any sense, and there's going to be a bunch of animations, and all of it's fluff and crap. So
yeah, but that's why you can fast forward. So that's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of fluff and crap, we saw a fair amount of that with some of the add-ons for Final Fantasy, like the collector decks. I think that is just an egregious money-grabbing maneuver, and I really dislike that Wizards does anything of that ilk. And this is pretty much the only product in their Universes Beyond that we saw something quite like that out of 2025.
Well, I mean, I don't think we can reasonably say that it wasn't a home run set, the biggest set of the year, probably the biggest set of all time.
Also, to elaborate on reach back into Magic, if you play Commander, because it is a community-driven format, people are very open to being proxy friendly. Meaning you can like print the cards on your printer and then just like put them in the sleeves and just call it a day, and it'll save you thousands of dollars, because almost every deck, if you try to build it the best it can be, I mean, you're talking all the dual lands because those are all legal. You're looking at thousands of dollars per deck if you do that. If you're okay with proxies and you like proxies, there's a couple websites, Make Playing Cards. They do decent proxy cards you can use. There's NPC autofill. We've got a couple videos on the channel. You can check those out. They tell you how to do it, and those will get you cards that are actually printed on cardstock, and they feel and look like normal Magic cards. They are not legal, obviously, in like a tournament setting. But
Commander has no tournament setting.
Yeah, even if they're CDH, but they're not official velocity. It's still tournaments. There are plenty of tournaments that get played.
But it's way better than having a token with a little slip of paper in the front that says Emrakul.
Those are not sanctioned tournaments.
Why does that matter? They still some of them still don't want proxies. Most of them are okay with it.
Okay, but they could still, like, you could have you and I could host a tournament, but let's be very clear that they're not WotC sanctioned tournaments.
They're not WotC sanctioned yet. I wouldn't be surprised if they find some way to support it and make it an official format. But I think
the point is that the Matt's making is, if you decide to get back into it again, proxy is definitely a great way to go.
You could buy like a full Commander deck on NPC for about $30-$35, maybe $40 total, and that includes every card you can have for the entire set, actually printed on cardstock itself, which is pretty cool.
But this set, I think they did a fantastic job of. They have serialized cards in there. They have lots of decent reprints. The cards are very playable themselves within the set. Lots of cool mechanics. It's a definite close enough vibe between Final Fantasy and Magic that it doesn't they feel like cousins more than, unrelated.
I'm gonna touch on that with my opinion. I feel that much like cousin fucking, this set should have never happened. Honestly, I really don't care whatsoever for Final Fantasy. I think a lot of the hype around this set was just financial. And that's one of the things that over the course of 2025 became less and less of a factor for me. And it was just things that I was drawn to or wanted to stay further away from. This was probably one of my favorite sets to draft and play. I did 2 different drafts of this with you guys. We did the box break and deck building. And then at work, I separately did a draft, had a phenomenal time. I really dislike this set. I do not care about Final Fantasy. And I think all the hype around it probably was a detriment in the long run to Magic the Gathering.
I disagree.
What the hell are you smoking? Are you trying to be like? There's no possible way that's real. He's one of the
he's
best
entitled to his opinion.
Flavor wise, power wise,
flavor wise. It's just the video game, right?
Yeah, and they.
Okay, so this is as good as Fallout.
Did a really good job at capturing what Final Fantasy is on a card. They did a fantastic
which I have no idea what it is.
But just because you don't know what Final
90
Fantasy
minutes
is,
of
doesn't mean you
exposure.
can't.
I am going to say I prefer this way ahead of Fallout.
Oh, I'm quite the opposite.
I think they did a fine job at Fallout as well. I think they did better.
I think if Fallout had
fine
this
with
treatment,
Fallout.
Oh, I would have preferred if this was reversed. Oh, absolutely. Like just completely a different opinion. If Fallout had a full treatment like this, I would have been ass over tea kettle for it. And have this be an aftermath size set. I don't know if I could care less, except for my distaste for the Final
all I
Fantasy
can
set.
say, let's take a look at the numbers again, Matt. I think we kind of glossed over that real quick.
Lots of people smoke crack too, Bob.
And if we look at the number of boxes sold for this year,
28,000. Quite a large number.
I mean, that's probably more than all sets combined this year.
Okay.
Probably.
The average daily sales of boxes since the beginning of the year.
Thank you, Coach. At least someone's got me for having an opinion.
No, I'm not bashing you for having your own opinion. All I'm saying is that the numbers don't support it.
You're allowed to have your own opinion. You could just be wrong.
The numbers say that a lot of people disagree with me, not that my opinion is wrong.
I've never said your opinion is wrong. I said the numbers don't support your opinion.
I guess realistically, opinions.
But you're saying the way that you're talking about it, you're saying that this is a bad set. That they didn't.
Well, I'll say empirically not bad for Magic. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, that's. I'll be honest, a little bit short-sighted to say. We're like 6 months out.
The only thing I could say that this would be completely bad for Magic would be that because they did such a good job, other sets fall super short, and people will always compare it to Final Fantasy.
Now that's something that you have to factor in. All the fervor that this pushed out for collector boxes and how much in the tens of millions that collectors and investors, which are a huge driving force in Magic the Gathering, how negatively that affected the widespread market for people holding product long term.
Well, so first of all, and all I'm going to say about downside is the only way we could even measure that at all, because you can't measure opinions, is financial and box sales. I mean, that's the only way you could really measure that. And
let's look at collector boxes for everything after this and see how those did compared to things before it.
Well, I mean, I wonder
collectors, Spider-Man collectors, Avatar collectors, every single collector box after this for the rest of the year does poorly.
Well, but that's not fair either.
How's that not fair?
Because
Spider-Man is another crossover IP that did pretty poorly. Like
hold on. I want to answer Pat's question. This was the last set that had serialized cards in it.
That is another problem that they stopped going away from serialized for other sets. I don't know why they did that. The next set we'll talk about, Edge of Eternities. This set is fantastic. Very good set.
I will say I think it would have done better.
The box price is still pretty high.
I do think that this is it doesn't appeal to me. I'm not into space sets. Said that from the beginning. I don't like the art in it. I don't like the vibe. But I do feel it was a good set. That what you said about a banger set stealing some of the air out of the room for this set. And I think it definitely did suffer being on the heels. Love you too, Miss Sherry Vegas, who got me some basic beta lands and some the Throne of Eldraine booster boxes for Christmas. Yay.
I mean, I'll be honest. I think Sothera Super Void is a bit overrated in this set, but possibly on the year, it's my favorite set. I mean, of the stuff that we have in the list here that you put up, I had a great time. And don't get me wrong, the bonus sheet hitting the Sliver Overlord and just in general, I had an incredible box opening. You couldn't really plan it a whole lot better than what I had.
Fantastic card. Arboreal.
I thought this was terrible for our box break.
It didn't work out the way that it. Yeah. It could have definitely been better for that. Cool lands.
I didn't hit any lands I wanted.
This is the one that I made two. I think I made 2 decks. Yeah, I made 2 decks from this set. And they both did okay. They were a little slow, so they didn't do great.
No, the one you built with the red dude did not do at all what you thought it was going to do.
I wanted it to do better, but, it was just bad draws. I probably should have mulliganed maybe a little aggressively.
I didn't get a Tezzeret. I didn't get the Gaia's Cradle ripoff.
Oh, a Vendo right there.
Yeah. Vendo very strong.
I honestly really liked Station. I thought it was a cool mechanic, and I would like to revisit it again. It can be mildly broken. Like it's got a higher ceiling and a lower floor. So it could be terrible and great depending on the card and how you play it out. And then again, Cosmic Grand Zenith. Like there's some great cards in this set.
These commanders, all of them were all good. Hearthall's a fantastic. Inspirit's interesting. The Inspirit I've seen being played at the moment, super easy to turn on, low mana cost, and you really only care about the second ability, or I should say the first ability, where you deal with charge counters, which is pretty interesting. Not a lot of commanders in the command zone specifically put charge counters on something, and being able to do that is actually insane. When you have like stuff like Everflowing Chalice, where you can only put like 1 charge counter in it, or you can play for free, and this can put charge counters on it, which then turns it on. It's actually insane. My buddy Nate plays in Spirit. It does some dirty things. Charge counters are quite strong. Kilo, Apogee of Mind, again, another commander that cares about just counters in general, but this cares about any counters, can proliferate them. And then Sazerael, Genesis Shepherd, lands matters, kind of graveyard synergy, sacrifice stuff, puts counters. This actually gets quite powerful. This is probably the weakest of the 4, but all of these commanders were fantastic. I play Hearthhole, he's really good, or it's really good. I was surprised with the stationing mechanics. I didn't know if I would like it. I felt like it might be a little like hard to turn on. It's surprisingly super easy to get them enabled.
Take care, Time Castle.
Have a good one, champ.
But I rather than getting into too many of the individual cards, I'd really like to. I mean, unless there's something specifically about them, because I'd like to get us before the end of the show. I'd like to get us through all the sets of the year, and then have each of us at least pick our top and our least like sets of the year, and you and the audience as well would love to see your rankings of your favorite and least favorite sets of the year.
And put it in the comment. Put it in the comment section.
I was surprised.
Take a guess. What do you think Bob's favorite set is? Matt's, mine? Go ahead, roll the dice. Let us see.
But I would say that this sold very well.
Yeah, it came out on August 1st was the official release date. A lot of pre-sale, which is kind of crazy, like almost 2,700 in July, which is pretty.
Yeah, I think it was well received with the hype that they gave it before release.
Year sales total 10,800. Average daily sold across the year is 30, still fairly strong. If we look at the last month, average 23 sales, still pretty good.
Strong. But it is a little more recent.
Yeah, it's more recent.
We have to be cognizant of the cycle, and as obviously Avatar is going to have more recent sales, and we'll have to see how it does after a full year and all that. But I mean, I think these give us good indications, right? They're directionally correct.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good cards, a lot of
sure.
I think I already mentioned all of we already mentioned all the good cards. So yeah,
Quantum Riddler gets played a lot, Ouroboros. Yeah, I get it. A lot of good cards in the set. I thought they did a good job on it, and I think they hyped it well enough. But
and then we're
this
here
set
with
is
Spider-Man.
kind of the biggest surprise of the year to me. At A, how bad it was, and B, how absolutely shit on by the community it was.
Oh my god, it's reflected. I like that our opinions are like a graph. It's
So September 26th is when this set was officially released. Although there was pre-sales all the way back in March, which is kind of crazy. And some people spent $270 on
a play box.
Play box.
Oh,
hey, shout out to our friends over at
MTG
Moxman for buying in early, helping support the market.
God. 6 sold at 260.
But look at the number of boxes sold. And realize it only has 6 months of sales. That's not terrible.
It's not. It's cheap. So I guess.
But I wonder how many sold by what point. Do you have that graph? Like how many sold while it was expensive?
1,000 sold right around release. And then it's kind of just been drip feeding.
Do you think that this was one of the IP crossover products that might have gotten outside of Magic the Gathering players to purchase into it? Like we might be looking forward to for
they could have, but this is the one where they sent out the questionnaire to people of which content creators shit on this so bad that made you not buy it. Like bad look, Watsy. Don't that's just so bad. Don't blame people outside you. You made this set bad. It didn't have any cohesion. You put 40 different Spider-Man versions in the set.
Well, it was only 27.
No serialized cards. It makes no sense.
There were serialized cards. The Infinity Stone, Soul Stone.
That's not serialized.
It wasn't serialized. It's just super rare.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
So no, it's just like super duper rare. Okay, that's like the one, I guess, hype point, which I have absolutely no interest in. I don't care about super duper lottery cards.
$33,000. It's super rare.
Yeah, and I bet all 5 people that had it, were super happy about it. Cool.
Or everybody
at Wizards, the other 10 million people that interacted with this, like this one, like they had cases left over. They had LGSs that had 0 participation at pre-release for it.
One sold.
I think it
33,000. That's it.
It might have been like the straw. Like I was carrying a pretty heavy load for Magic the Gathering all the way through up until this point. And then to see the afterbirth that was Aftermath take over Spider-Man, much like a Venom suit. It was infectious in the worst way.
The mechanics aren't great. The cards aren't great. It's not like there's a lot of staples in here.
What mechanics were there? Web slinging?
Web slinging is very strong, but there's only one commander that I would say, if we're talking about just commanders, there's one commander, Peter Parker. And what's funny about this is not even the one version I would play. I would play the opposite side. Hold on. Let me pick a non-shit version. Hold on.
I was like,
I can't even read
did you just make this on like card fill or something?
Well, this one's garbage. When it enters, you get a 2/1. Who cares? You would never, in my opinion, this is one of the cards where you can actually play both either side as your commander. You can play both technically, but you would never want to cast it on this side. I would think just this is your commander. This gives every legendary spell in your hand web slinging. This has huge potential. I've watched games with this being played. This is the only card from this set that I actually think is really well done. Everything else,
that four white pip one also did well.
It's ninjutsu.
It's basically ninjutsu, but like anything that enter the battlefield, like Muldrifter, you can like bounce your Muldrifter back in order to be able to draw again. There's like the one that untaps 5 lands.
It's actually ninjutsu with extra steps.
there's many infinite combos with it.
Bro, everything's kicker. Everything's kicker.
But
it makes things super cheap because you only have to pay 3 mana versus like.
There's the one card that shows up in lots of different things besides the anti-venom. The Doc Ock also shows up. There's a couple of decent cards. The Miles Morales is a decent card. The Gwenom is a decent card. But it just feels very poorly done when you compare it to other universes beyond. And I think that was reflected in the sales.
Mr. Negative was another card that I think is okay, but because he costs 7 mana, it's kind of like it's difficult. I mean, it's easy enough to get to, but when he enters the battlefield, he has a very big kicker if you do it right.
Anti-Venom was a hit.
But
I'll be honest. This whole set reminds me of like the kid that did good in high school. You're like, oh, they got all this potential. They could really become something. And then they turn like 20 and it looks like this, where there was a whole bunch of potential and then fuck all but disappointment.
Well, and here's the thing. I mean, clearly WotC did not put the effort into this set that they did for Final Fantasy.
Or even
Avatar. If I was Marvel, I'd be pretty pissed off, honestly.
We've got average daily sold of 22, high sale price of 161, low
sale price of let's not forget they had to go to the universe's sideways to put it into Arena as well.
Oh, dear sweet God, with the mistakes that who do they have for lawyers? With how much they get sued? How do they not have better lawyers?
Through the
I don't know. They really fumbled the ball on this set. This is probably the second most fumbled set I've ever seen them handle. I think the aftermath and the afterbirth.
They had to use different art for every single one of these cards, huh?
Yes, yeah. They were not allowed to even use the names, right?
Terrible. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, like Spider-Man's not Spider-Man. He's like the Spider Person.
Spider Ball. I'll give you this. Best thing about this set, the collector booster for the gift bundle. It was vertical.
Terminus of return.
I like the art on the boxes. I will agree with that. I liked all the art on all the boxes except for the collector. I thought it was terrible.
I just hate what they put on the cards. That whole showcase
the cards are not great.
Oh
that's not a great thing for a collectible card game, is to not have great cards. But speaking about great cards,
innovator.
70
we got about 5 minutes left here, and I'd kind of like to at least address Avatar and then get to our voting, and then we're going to get to our after show. That's right. We're 54 minutes in. And that's why we're so good at this YouTube thing, to remind you, please remember to like, subscribe, and consider becoming a member. Make sure you hit that bell icon notification for when we go live. All right, so the last set of the year just came out last month is Avatar, The Last Airbender. I'm going to give you just a hot take, and I'll let you boys take over from here. I expected more from this set. I'll be honest with you. I expected this to have more hype, more juice, but it seemed to have just been kind of, okay. It did okay.
Avatar, The Last Wallet Grabber.
This was released on November 21st, and so far has already sold 8,000 boxes, which is insane in less than 2 months.
Isn't that more than both Innistrad and Aether Drift?
It's probably better. It's probably more than both Innistrad, Aether Drift, and I don't know about the other ones.
And they straight cheated and just took screen grabs of like a 20-year-old anime.
I don't know. I think the set did pretty well. Like, I mean, it added earthbending. Earthbending is extremely strong. Firebending is quite strong.
I like firebending.
Airbending is also pretty strong. The worst one is probably waterbending. I couldn't even tell you what it does. Badgermole Cubs, destroying standard. Wan Shi Tong is a very good flavor card that also is very good in Commander.
Yeah, that's a hit.
You've got the Cabbage Merchant, which is also a very strong Commander card somewhere
People
in here.
That Appa.
It gives you food tokens, and then it also taps those food tokens.
In that wall, like it's a 0/30.
There's the card I want.
Or some bullshit.
The planetarium.
No, this guy planetarium of Wan Shi Tong.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a fair selection of cards to be had in this set. It's a decent throwback. It's definitely targeting the right audience. I think all this Fortnite stuff, those kids can't get their parents' credit cards to buy enough of it.
You know what's not in this set, Pat?
What that, though?
Bagel and Schmear, hot dog cart, and guy in office chair.
You know, honestly, this is as tangentially Magic the Gathering as Turkey or Dragonstorm is. This feels like it fits in. This could be a plane closer to Central than Strixhaven was.
I mean, Cabbage Merchant's pretty close to Bagel and a Smear for me, at least. I don't know.
What? There's a lot of people who love Cabbage Merchant.
Market. You know,
there's a lot of people who love Bagel and a Smear. You don't think they have bagels in
No. I'm talking about the card. The Cabbage Merchant was like a big part of the anime, and
yeah, my cabbages.
I don't think Bagel and Schmear was a big part of Spider-Man.
It was an iconic moment in the movie scene as far as like what people. So it was just funny.
It's a New York thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. I don't know. I don't think there's much difference between the two for me, at least.
I have
we're entitled to our opinions, but
speaking of being entitled to our opinions,
commander,
we are getting close to the end of tonight's show, as Bob
right.
had mentioned previous.
So Pat, what's your favorite set of the year of 2025?
Edge of Eternities. Matt?
I mean, it's got to be Final Fantasy. There's just too many good cards.
And I'm actually going to copycat Matt, and I'm going to say Final Fantasy is one of my top set favorites of all time in Magic.
No, that's understandable. Like, my hate outweighs my ability to love, and that's why Final Fantasy can never hold a place in my heart.
All right, so let's go with hate. Pat, I think we know what your answer's going to be. What's your most hated set of the year?
I'm going to go with Aether Drift.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shocker.
They made it themselves. Like, don't get me wrong. I think they handled Final Fantasy poorly. I think that from the very get-go, they had a bad idea and they ran all the way to their own end zone with it and gave the other point 6 points to the other team for piss lands. There was nothing good that came out of Aether Drift except for my ability to mock Wizards of the Coast.
So they were the soccer player that kicked it into their own goal. Got it.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Matt? What's your least favorite? I don't want to say hated. I don't think you hate sets. What's your least favorite set of the year?
No, it's got to be Spider-Man, and not only because I don't really care much about Spider-Man, but also because the amount of cards in it that weren't the amount of cards that I actually enjoy and want to play with. There's like one commander on a build. That's rare for me. Normally, when a set's released, I want to build like multiple commander decks. There's just one. That's pretty rough.
Who dat?
Spider-Man.
That's not specific.
The web slinging one.
Oh, okay.
All of your legendary spells.
He means Peter Parker.
Yeah, okay.
Peter Parker / the Amazing Spider-Man / the Spider Silker or whatever the fuck they were called in the Omen Path.
I thought you said at one point you wanted to build a Gwenum deck.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
It was mostly for the front-facing assets on that one.
And definitely, I don't know if this is going to be a shocker, but yeah, Pat, you stole my least favorite set of the year. I have zero product of it. I have zero desire to buy any of it. Don't want it. Won't open it. Won't be on the shelves when you guys come over for BobCon. That's for sure.
For eternity.
Aether Drift, I thought was just a poor.
I got one of these.
Poor set.
Ooh.
I don't even want to. I want to forget about it. Like I would rather have Innistrad, a box of Innistrad, than Aether Drift. By far.
Well, so like that's the hinge point right here for me. The pin in this. It's one thing when you don't try and it turns out bad. It's another thing when you try and it Aether Drifts. That's the issue, is that they tried. They made it up themselves. They put the work into it. They paid their people, and it came out poorly.
Yeah, they Aether drifted right out of my lane. But speaking about my lane, I think that's going to do it for 2025 for us, folks. Thank you so much for all your support throughout the year. Appreciate every single person who's given us their time, especially here on Saturday evenings at 7 p.m. We're here 7 p.m. Eastern every Saturday. Even missed the guy who gave us, what was that Bitcoin? The
herpes, Bob. It's herpes.
No, Pippin coin, right?
Yeah. And Toby the robot.
There you go. But no, seriously, I appreciate everybody giving us your time. We come back here just to give you some of ours every week. Please consider becoming a member if you want to watch the next 30 to 60 minutes of us yakking behind the scenes, and you get an after show. We usually review kind of what we've done, what do we like about the show, what we didn't like about the show. We'll do other things like play games, probably not tonight. But it's, I think for $1 a month, you can't even get a bagel and a schmear.
Oh, good Lord, no. You couldn't even get a schmear alone for that price.
I mean, even from the grocery store.
Yeah. Well, hey, until next week, love you bunches. See you in 2026.
Bye.